Hello, everyone. My name is Keudy Martinez, and I am Connecticut's 2025 Kid Governor. I was elected to this position last fall when I was a 5th grader at ACES Chase Elementary School here in Waterbury. My platform as your Kid Governor is speaking up for safe and happy schools, and it addresses bullying and mental health in our schools. October is a National Bullying Prevention Month, which is why I am excited that we have Connecticut's adult governor, Ned Lamont, here to talk about bullying and mental health. He will also answer some of our questions. So please, let me welcome Connecticut's 89th Governor, Ned Lamont, to ACES at Chase Academy.
Superintendent, so you have questions about Waterbury, you have questions about school. These are folks you can talk to and tell you everything they're doing. I'm the adult governor. Now I know what my role is in life. But the mayor and I just really wanted to hear what's on your mind. Tell us what you think is really going great about ACES, what you love about school, and how we can make things better. And I'll just tell you, you go to one of the great schools in the state. It's a state that has great schools, and that's because we love you very much. We want to make sure you get the very best opportunities. And if we're ever doing anything wrong, you got a kid governor who's going to hold me accountable, I know, every day, and tell me how we can do things a little bit better. But what do you think, Mayor?
I think you're about to answer some questions from the students. I think it's great that you've had us here. We're happy to be here and to be able to talk about things that are going on. And to have the governor come all the way to Waterbury just tells you how important he thinks education is and what he thinks of this school and what he thinks of this city, how highly he thinks of all of you. So it's a great opportunity for you to tell him what you're thinking or to ask him questions that you might have about the state of Connecticut that most students aren't going to get regularly. So.
How are your teachers? You give them a thumbs up if you like the teachers. Great inflation. And are you all here in 6th grade?
Yes.
Yeah? What are some of your favorite courses? What's your favorite course over here? What do you think? Come again?
Course for what?
What class do you like the most?
Gym.
What's it called?
Gym.
Gym. That's a class. You know why gym is important? Because being part of a team is really important too. Gym is about doing the very best you can, but also making people around you do the best they can. That's what it means to be a really good teammate. And that's something you learn in gym. How about you? Art. Why do you love art? You all like art?
Yeah. Yes.
Art is very good because some people are really good at math, and some people are really good at science, and some people are good at gym, and some people are good at art. But one of the nice things in life is find something you love, and then you'll find the other things come along. So if you love art, it makes you feel good about life, and also makes you just think about the world a little more creatively. You ever hear of a guy named Albert Einstein? Does that name ring a bell?
Yeah.
He is a real smart guy, physics and math and equations. But a lot of other people are good at physics and math and equations. He also loved art. And in particular, he played the violin. And he always said, what separated me from everybody else in the math and sciences is that I loved art and violin. It helped me think about it in a very different and bigger way than them. I'm glad you love art. How about you?
I really like science, but then again, I think it's just because I like space.
Because you like space.
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Yeah, like astrophysics and yeah, stuff.
What do you like about space?
Well, it's just the physics of space and stuff, I guess.
Good for you. I mean, you know, for 100,000 years, people looked up at the sky and didn't know what was there. We made up stories called mythology, trying to explain what thunder and lightning were. Now with Galileo and the sciences, we learn a little bit more about the planets and the Earth and the solar system. And I think that's one of the things we got to do with our education is always explore and be curious. And you're curious about space. How about over here? How about you?
I like LA.
Language arts.
Yeah.
What's so great about language arts?
I just like reading and writing and stuff.
What do you like to read?
I don't know, I like books, of course I do, but I like different kind of books. Like it could be like any kind and I'm just a reader.
Always read, never stop reading. It always opens your mind, makes you think about big things. You get to be my age, you start reading the same type, newspapers, and the same thing all the time. Read stuff that makes you learn. You read something about space, and I want space to read something about arts. That's how you explore. Good for you. You read an hour every day?
Like sometimes, like I read, that depends on how I'm feeling. Sometimes when I come back to school, I read the
That's fair enough. How about you?
I like choir.
Fire?
Choir.
Choir. Oh, got it.
They might be on fire, but it doesn't change.
And what do you love about choir?
We get to sing and dance, and we get to do lots of fun songs.
In choir, you're only as good as all the other folks in the choir with you, and you create harmonies, and that's part of what a choir is how to sing in unison. Isn't that right? You a good singer? Soprano? Alto? Alto. Are you a singer, Paul?
No, not even close.
Want to try?
No. No, I'll get up and leave if I were to sing.
So Governor Lamont, I know Governor Martinez has some questions from some of our students here, if you'd like to answer some of those. Would you like to call on someone?
Go ahead, Kid Governor.
Governor Martinez,
Okay.
who's gonna go first?
Benny H.
Benny H, where's Benny H? Okay, it's your turn, you have a question. Do straight, raise your straight.
This one's for actually Kid Governor, the real governor.
You first, I heard.
How do you deal with bullies in your job as an adult?
How do you deal with
Bullies.
How do you deal with bullies in your job as an adult?
You want to start with that? Or you want me to start as an adult? You're going to be a good governor, because they always get the other guy to go first. Look, as an adult, and you've got great teachers here and as role models, and look to them as you think about how you treat other people. And you always want to treat other people the way you hope that they treat you. And sometimes kids come from a different place and don't feel totally comfortable. And those are the ones you want to reach out to and be particularly kind to and understanding of. But there's some folks who are maybe a little insecure, not sure about themselves, and they tend to lash out and be bullies, as you pointed out. And I can tell you as a governor, I mean, the most important thing I try and do is lead by example and treat other people with respect and love. You know, everybody thinks we can solve everything by passing laws and have a law that says bullying's not allowed, or, you know, limit what you can do on social media or on your smartphone to make it less likely to bully. But I'd put it right back to you. I'd say each and every one of you, you know, look out for each other. And if you have one of your friends who thinks they're being funny, but they're probably being a little mean, and perhaps one of your friends is hurt by that, tell that person who's being a little mean, a little bully. Just say it friendly, but just say, I think you don't know what effect you're having on that person. It makes them feel a little less happy, a little bit sure about themselves. But you ran on a make the schools safe and happy, so bullying's part of your plan as well.
So you pretty much said everything, but I'll try to say a few words. As a kid, bullying is probably the worst experience you probably could ever, something that ever could happen in your life. And like you said, not everyone's from the same place. Some places bullying just happens there. Nobody really does anything about it. Some other places, bullying is not really common in those places. So when both those places go together, a lot of kids are gonna get bullied. And there's always teachers that you could ask for help. There's always someone you could talk. And if you're not feeling comfortable talking with any teachers, just know you have parents at home that trust, that you could trust, and yeah.
That's really good, thank you.
Okay, next person. Is it Noah? Jonah?
How does the government shutdown affect the state government?
Jonah asks, how does the government shutdown, which is down in Washington, D.C., affect the state government? I think it's terrible. Look, we have a government here in the state of Connecticut. We can't shut it down. Imagine if we shut it down and your teachers didn't come, or policemen were not on the street, or nurses were not there to take care of people. Federal government shutting down is really makes life very difficult for people, and they got to solve that immediately. You know, the first thing that the federal government does for us is gives us a little extra support for new mothers who have little infants and kids, and it's called Women, Infant, and Children. And it helps moms that maybe don't have enough resources. They cut off the funding for that. They said it stops right now. So we have to make up for that and hope that the Republicans and Democrats get together and find an agreement to keep the government going forward. How does it affect the city of Waterbury?
It's the same sort of issue. It becomes a funding problem for us because a lot of the money that we get comes, even some of the money that comes from the state, is ultimately from the federal government, especially in the health area, education money for some of the lunches and some of the programs that we have, Title IX programs as well. So that it hurts us by hurting our ability to provide services. And I agree with the governor. We don't shut down the city of Waterbury. The state government doesn't shut down, and it's sort of a ridiculous thing that at the highest level of our government, they can't figure out a way to keep the government open. It really is an awful message that they're sending. You guys could do a better job, I think, running the government right now than they are, right? You keep it going, so.
So everybody write a letter to the President of the United States saying, open up the government.
Okay.
You want to answer that question too? Kid Governor?
I think you guys pretty much said everything
That's fair
is
enough.
possible to say. Okay, let's move on. Anaya B.
Governor Lamont, did you ever deal with bullying as a kid?
Did I ever?
Deal with bullying as a kid?
I'll tell you what, I hope not, and I tried not to, but I think probably, I'm not sure that I didn't sometime. You know, sometimes you think you're being funny. Sometimes you think you're making a joke. Sometimes the joke ends up being a joke at somebody else's expense. And pretty soon that ends up hurting somebody's feelings. So I'd like to say, of course not, but I can't promise you that. I tried not to, I can promise you that.
Okay. That's a good answer.
Is that okay? Thank you. He's grading my answers. He said I got a C+ on that one.
Ariana F.
Hey, Ariana.
What laws are in place for bullying?
What laws are in place about bullying? First thing we worry about a lot is on social media and smartphones. And sometimes people say things in social media and on their smartphones they never say to their face, right? You just would never say something that mean. Sometimes that happens. So we're trying to be very strict about phones in schools, phones in classrooms, phones at home, and maybe give parents a little say about what age you're able to do that. I think that makes some sense. We try and work very closely in the schools in terms of health, public health, mental health. So maybe you don't feel right. Maybe you feel like somebody was mean to you. Maybe you feel unsure about yourself. So there's always somebody to go to. You can go to a teacher, you can go to a best friend, or maybe somebody who's in the school in the health clinic as well. Anything else we should be doing?
No, I think that's, it covers it. With students, you need to find an adult or somebody you can trust to talk to. And I think what the governor said earlier, which is that sometimes you can see your friends being bullies. It's important that you might tell them that so that you might help stop doing the bullying. But it even happens among grown-ups. With grown-ups, we call it hate crimes, and we have people who will go after someone because of their race or because of their sexual orientation. And so we have laws in place that put special penalties on that for people who are behaving in that way because they're singling somebody out just because of the way that they were born, and we know that that's wrong. So if we can't get them to stop doing it otherwise, we do have to have laws and punishments in place sometimes to make that happen.
Okay.
Governor Martinez, do you have a question for the governor?
Actually, I do. They're right here. Okay. So my platform addresses mental health and bullying in schools. What does the state of Connecticut do to address that issue?
Quite a little similar to your question about what does the state of Connecticut do when it comes to mental health. I'll tell you, coming out of COVID, because you guys are all much younger during COVID, a lot of kids were alone for just hours every day. And that created a lot of anxieties, a lot of fears, a lot of worries. And we had to work very hard. First thing I wanted to do is I wanted to get everybody back to school, like learning loss, and get everybody back in math and sciences and arts and music. And then we realized in many cases, Kid Governor, people just wanted to be with their friends and wanted to learn to be with each other again. And we created these summer programs just so kids could have some fun and be able to be together. Otherwise, we've also putting health clinics in more and more of our schools, just so there's a medical professional there who can help you as well, if we think that's absolutely important. And again, I'll say what I said before. I need each and every one of you looking out for each other. If you look out for each other, that's the best type of therapy they can be. Knowing you have a good friend that you can trust and they know that they can trust you.
What advice would you give to students who want to make a difference in their community, but don't know how?
I'll start, and then I'm going to give this to the mayor. Don't ever think you're too young to make a difference in your community. I got to tell you, we need you every day, and doing something for somebody else is sometimes the best therapy in life. You know, if I had some ideas, I would say, one, obviously go talk to folks who are older. Maybe go to a nursing home or a senior center, and just say, tell me about what you were doing when you were my age. And sometimes these older folks just love to tell their stories, makes them feel really good, and it's a way you can get involved in your community. You know, a little later, maybe there's a political campaign. Maybe there's somebody running for Kid Governor who you think is really good. And you start by calling up your friends and say, I hope you pay attention to this person. I think they really touch my heart. They may touch yours as well. And you know what? Everybody loves to hear from a kid. You know, get on the phone call if you're running for, state senator, state representative, governor. When they get a call from a kid, say, I met this person. I thought they were pretty good, and I hope you consider voting for them. They listen, because you don't carry a lot of politics with you. You're just speaking from the heart. I'd say there are a lot of folks who need a little bit of extra help. There are a lot of kids who need some extra help. Maybe at the child care and daycare centers. They'd love to have a big brother or a big sister just like you. And maybe you go there a few hours every week, just a way to say, how you doing, kid, and how can I make you feel better today? Those are different ways you can get involved. But you maybe have some other plans here in town. Yeah, no, I think the first thing is the one-on-one issues that if you have, you want to just make a difference in the community. Some of the ways to do it are one-on-one by doing some tutoring or volunteering with some groups to help people out, especially people sometimes your own age, because that makes a difference in that person's life, and they'll be able to make a difference in other people's lives, and so you can spread it out in a way that you sometimes can't even see that you're doing it, that can make a difference one-on-one. If you've got ideas that you want to share or something that you think should happen differently, whether it's in the schools or in the city or in the state, you can talk to
other people about it, and then together bring your ideas to the decision makers at that level, whether it's your aldermen in the city or your legislators in the state, the mayor or the governor's office, because sometimes you have a really good idea because you see things that we don't see because you're living a different experience every day that you can bring to our attention. And we'd like to hear that. And if you talk to other people who agree with you, they come together and you get a group of people coming, you're going to catch our attention and make us want to fix whatever that problem is that you've identified. So there's lots of different ways depending on what you're comfortable with and what you think you want to do to try to make a difference in the world. The key is to never be afraid to just reach out and try to make that difference. Even if you're young, even if you think sometimes people aren't going to understand it, you'd be surprised what happens when you just put yourself into something and you can really make a difference and affect somebody's life.
I've been to a few schools where they have maybe you have this here, sort of a big brother, big sister program, or maybe a 6th or 7th grader is teamed up with a 1st or 2nd grader, and maybe once a week or something they get together and just have a way of comparing notes and talking. It's a little bit of a real help for somebody who would look up to you as a real role model. When it comes to bullying or feeling anxious or not sure about themselves and what they want to do this summer, you can give them a lot of good advice.
2 more questions, David.
So,
He has 2 more on his thing. There are 4 Keudy now.
Yeah.
Keudy, you have 2 more names on your paper?
Yeah, just questions for people to ask me.
You got,
Okay.
These are questions for you.
Yeah, for people to ask me.
Okay. Who's Azia?
What steps will you take to promote a safe and respectful environment at ACES Chase Academy? And will you start an anti-bullying club?
Okay. So I just have to mention, ACES at Chase is like a really nice school, and I really do appreciate being here. And my platform really do addresses safety and bullying, and I think you guys have already done it with safety, with security, and just much more of that. And you asked if I would address like would I start like a mental health group or club?
An anti-bullying club.
Okay, yeah. I would like to start an anti-bullying club because it would really go well with my platform. That is one of my points. It would go with my 3rd one. That is start a mental health group or club in your school to make sure no one feels alone. And that just could bring everyone together that's just, having mental health and don't have really much people to talk to. It would bring kids together and kids that are feeling the same and kids that just want people to talk to. That group could it could be really that group. You could go to that group and you could just talk to people that you could trust. And you could talk to students that are experiencing the things you're experiencing with mental health.
Pretty good answer, don't you think? Yeah. Pretty good. Last question from Caroline M.
What are some responsibilities as a kid governor, and how do you help the government?
Some of my responsibilities as kid governor is to always stay on point, that means just try to always be respectful. Just always try to do the right thing. And not always I'm gonna be right or I'm gonna be wrong, but my plan is to always try to be respectful and nice to others. And I also feel like Connecticut is a really good state because we have Connecticut's Kid Governor program, and that just helps the real government officials to understand what kids are talking about, to really pay attention to kids, because I feel like not much adults or government really pay attention to what kids are trying to say. Kids could be right as well, and I think you guys could really benefit from kids. So, yeah.
Let's hear it for Keudy. Isn't that amazing? That's really good. So first thing, when I met him, he gave me his card. And his card says, this is how you can reach out to me, and I'll be reaching out to you. So if any of you have any ideas on how we can do better in Waterbury or better in the state of Connecticut, any advice you have for us, whether it's about bullying, whether it's about jobs, whether it's about ways to make school better, talk to your kid governor and he'll talk to me and we'll see what we can do about it. Is that a deal? Yes. Hey, thanks, buddy.
Let's hear it for
Nice going.